Hey, what's going on, y'all? We sitting here getting set up, getting ready to go live, waiting for my illustrious partner in crime.
Hey,
Hey,
sorry about that. I had a little, you know, you know how it goes. As I'm putting on my earring. Hey, everybody. We gonna start by just saying like, pray for us.
pray for us. There's so much
Okay.
going on, but I'll bring us in officially. What's going on, everybody? It's your man, 100 Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm Fempreneur Extraordinaire and Tech Diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the crossroads where there's only one rule.
Be free to be you.
I went like this, and that's actually two.
So where there's only one and one rule.
Right, where there's only one and one rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not at
Okay.
home, I'm not in my normal broadcast location, so I feel
It's okay.
funny.
It's good to see you regardless.
It's good to see you too. I feel like I ain't seen you in a week.
At least. At least. At least.
How was your trip?
Oh, I was about to say I didn't go anywhere, but yeah, since the last child, look,
Like you literally did.
I literally did. No, all is well. All is well. Got back safely, and then have some more traveling to do in the next couple weeks. We're just,
Mhm.
winding down the time to the nuptials. I'm
Oh,
also looking down just to make sure that we are live, which we are. Okay, I'm gonna make sure
right.
to share.
I'm trying to see
Share.
if I can share from my phone because I can't share from my computer.
Yeah, you should be. Go to the actual podcast page, and then you can share the feed that's coming from there.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Copy the link,
There you go.
and
All
then
right. Well, happy Thursday to everybody. I didn't even have a chance to pour my drink. I just brought the bottle. Like maybe I'll get. I
I
mean, I
s-
have a glass and everything, but I was like, let me just
right.
scurry on.
I started to do that, and then I was like, I don't know. So I
Oh,
did
you're
get a
not
chance to
feeling
fix.
up
I don't
to
know
it.
if I'm gonna be able to. I don't know if I'm gonna need more. So
Uh oh.
I'm gonna have to call for reinforcements. This is actually pretty tasty. I was in there experimenting with something because I don't like real sweet drinks,
Mm-hmm.
but this is so. Mama made some tea, some of her special tea.
Specialty. Okay.
So it's a Arnold, but I mixed it with some Simply Lemonade, some flavoring, and then put some Malibu up in here.
Okay. So a little Arnold Palmer spice, uh,
Yeah,
pina colada
like I don't know. It's good though.
delight. Yes.
It's
Well,
it's taste. It does its job. I actually drank one earlier, and yeah, took a little nap.
that same.
So,
Not because of that. This is my first drink for the day, but it's just been a lot
mm,
happening. And I do want to acknowledge, like, just for some. Hey, got it out. Those who might be watching. First of all, please share this broadcast if you're looking at us right now, especially on Facebook. Go ahead and hit the share button. But just want to acknowledge those of you who are dealing with loss. Like, there's just been a tremendous amount of loss up and down the timeline. I actually made a celebratory post for
mm,
myself right before I got on here, but
mm,
somebody saw my picture and my name, and because they're so triggered, they didn't even realize it was my post. They thought somebody was doing some kind of tribute posts, like I had passed away.
like you
So
passed away.
yeah,
Damn.
child. So I'm like, look, another reason to pour. I'm like, I'm still here. I
Right.
thank God, but I do know, a lot is going on, and people are losing family members, friends, and
Yeah. It's
co-workers and
weird
stuff.
when you die though.
It's weird when you die.
Yeah. Remember I died a few years ago?
Oh, I was about to say, well, how do we know? What? Thanks for bringing some levity to the situation. Hey, Miss Jones, how are you?
Nadia Jones turned me up in the headphones. I
There
keep
she
trying to
goes.
convince her she need to be a rapper because I think Nadia Jones is a dope rap name.
Well, I think she likes the profession that she's in. She's helping, generations. I mean, not that she can't do both, but
I'm saying.
I'm assuming she's invested a lot of time and resources into the direction that she's in. And she says she's surviving. Yeah, that's pretty much all we can do at this point in time.
Right. But I mean, we break your music career, you're going to be more than surviving. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
All right. All your bar.
This is what hashtag Boo picked up from the store.
7 Deadly Red.
Yeah. I'm like, oh Lord.
Why is that something that you would want to put in your body? I don't get, like, what makes you look at that label and like, ooh, I'm gonna get that. I need to try that.
It's the 7 deadly sins on the bottle.
Are you sure that's not something that you need to be drinking after the show? Like,
I don't know. We about to see. It's about to be an adventure. Yeah. I mean, it's in the glass. I haven't said nothing yet.
All right, y'all. We're gonna see where this goes tonight, but
I'm like, oh Lord.
There was literally, like, it's nicely bottled, but there's nothing about that label that would make me say I need to drink that.
Yeah, I was here, and
well, at least you got somebody there that if you need to carry out any of said sins,
right?
I'm
like, which one? Oh Lord.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to choose from.
There's a lot to choose from. So how is everybody doing? We caught up with Miss Jones here. I see another. The numbers are going up. Please go ahead and share this broadcast. We want to connect with as many people as we can, but also, people are getting off work. We know that. But share when you come in. So Barzini, what's been going on this week? I take a sip of it.
Right.
Look, everybody watch me.
Yeah. I don't put much of my business out there, but let's just say I'm here to see about my mother. So if my background,
I wasn't even gonna go there. I was just gonna, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's literally what's been going on this week.
Yeah. Shout out to Mom.
Yeah, so I had to hop on a plane and come see about Mama. So that's where I am.
Yes.
Right now.
Thank you for your commitment to us, because I was like, hey, if I gotta fly solo, we'll just patch you in or not. And he was like, no, I'm gonna get in there. So
I'm trying to get my perfect attendance certificate for the year.
Right. If you guys have listened to today's broadcast already, Barzini was just going on and on about the fact that we are almost a year in. That's so crazy. We are almost a full year into the Crossroads, and we have not missed not one episode and not one live. So
we don't intend to. Oh, no. Here's some wood.
Right. We don't. I don't even have anything around me, but we don't intend to. So before we go ahead and get into some topics, we do want to remind you that we are on a campaign to 10,000 subscribers, but our first stop is that 1K. We finally broke 300, so get excited about that.
I mean, we on that slow drips with the subscribers right now.
We on the slow drip with subscribers, but we appreciate each and every one of you. If you are watching right now and you are on YouTube and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and click the button to subscribe to our YouTube page. If you are watching us from Facebook and you haven't subscribed, then I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the comments. And we want you to literally leave the broadcast on Facebook, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And then we want you to tell a friend and tell a friend. So there it is, youtube.com/The Crossroads. The Crossroads. And of course, Crossroads is XrossroadZ. All right. And it'd be dope if you come back and let us know, hey, I subscribed or I'm already a subscriber. We want to know, that you have joined us in that drive for 10K.
10K.
Whew. I feel like it's gonna come. It's gonna be an avalanche. All you know, it is that slow, and then it's gonna be like,
yeah, we're gonna have one of these shows. I'm gonna say something stupid one day that everybody gonna be like, listen to this nigga.
yeah, gone viral.
Right, we're gonna go viral with something. I need to say something real provocative.
My Lord. Just don't get us canceled.
Oh, okay. I mean,
he's like, oh well, okay.
I mean, we won't get canceled. Maybe if you just go in on, don't agree with it, just you know, they'll subscribe for you.
Okay. Now y'all hear our plan. You hear our plan. But speaking of
our evil plan,
our evil plan, yeah. Speaking of provocative, though, I was asleep the other night. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's generally what happens at night. But I woke up the other morning. I want to say it was yesterday. And Barzine sends me. It wasn't even a link. It was just a message. Jazmine Sullivan's stories or IG stories, and I'm like, what? It's the most random thing to me to wake up to. Mm-mm. So I'm like, okay, let me go see. And when I opened it, I saw like it was a whole bunch of them. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
And let me tell you, and I saved every one of them. Yeah. So, and I did that so she wouldn't miss it. I was like, you can't miss these.
Yeah. And I happened to wake up. I think the oldest one was like 22 hours. So I was right there. And I went on and got through them. And then I started seeing people's social media posts, and oh boy, that's all I have. So for those of you who might have missed it, Jazmine Sullivan put up a question in her stories, or it was the question box for people to share with her secrets about their partners or about their relationships.
That they'll never tell their partner.
That that you told everybody else, but that you'll never tell your partner. And there were some really disturbing secrets.
And might I add,
please add.
The majority of them were from women.
Of course you're gonna add that, yeah.
Fellas, I can't defend y'all because some of the stuff that the dudes were saying, I'm like, are you for real, bro?
Yeah, it was very. I don't know.
Yeah, people is disgusting out here, like for real.
People are disgusting. So, I guess let's talk about a few. Okay. So they started with, things that are mild. Lying is not mild. I shouldn't say that because lying is lying, but things that I think are more common that you hear often, like, women faking orgasms. You hear that.
Right. One, his breath stink and I never tell him.
Right. It's like, oh, okay. Then we upped the ante a lot. The ones that disturbed me the most, and I probably have to review because I'm sure there were more that disturbed me, but the most that kind of stuck with me were people that were sleeping with their partner's parents.
Right.
I was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of okay. I mean, you're trash for sleeping with your partner's parent, but what kind of trash ass parent
Really? Yeah. And you know what? This is why that gets alarming, because everybody be on my daddy. You know the attention my daddy gets, and every time somebody see my daddy, they your daddy fine, this your daddy this that. Yeah. I'm like, all right, whatever, I get it. But yeah, seeing that makes me look like, hey, I might have to give Pops a call, like, hey, bruh.
But your dad wouldn't do that. Oh.
Nah,
I was like, wait, what?
I'll put it to you this way.
Not on purpose. Not knowingly.
Right. He may unknowingly, because pimping says pimping was pimping.
That's what I was like, baby, unknowingly.
Right. I'm like,
show up at the dinner like, this my new boo. He like,
no, that's my new boo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and imagine something like, just so reading those makes a scenario like this very real. Imagine this scenario. You got your new boo and you inviting her out. It's like, hey, I want you to come to dinner and meet my pops.
Mm-hmm.
And she declines because she got a date. But she don't tell you she got a date.
She don't tell you.
Right. So she's showing up to dinner with her other boo. That I show up because he's like, hey, come to dinner. I want you to meet my son. But I don't think there's any way in hell that I could actually can happen with me and my dad because I have his face.
Oh, for somebody else. But hey, did you watch Living Single like religiously?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, it was an episode where Regine dated Melvin Van Peebles and Mario Van Peebles.
Oh wow, yeah. See, but they got the same face.
That's what I said. When you said that, I was like, well,
I mean, that was scripted, but like to hear even both of us talk, we had the same mannerisms, the same speech patterns. Like, come on now.
I mean, that's again, provided somebody's paying close attention, like,
But do you have to pay that close attention to me and my pops?
But I know, like, if I just met him on the street and I met you on the street, am I gonna necessarily go, oh, I met your son? Like,
probably. As much as we look alike.
It's like probably.
Like,
I feel like I've met you before.
Right. If I sent you the picture, watch. I'm gonna send you the side by side, and you can post it in the show and let the people decide. Like,
Lord have mercy. I know we know you and your daddy look alike.
You know,
like, under the to know you, and then if I didn't know your dad and met him, I think I would make the correlation because I've spent enough time with you. I'm saying like somebody that doesn't really know you and doesn't really know him, and or there's some time in between, there might be some margin for error. I don't know.
I mean, anything could happen, but I'm just saying, like, how you see somebody like, hey, you look like such and such and such.
Right. Yeah. I've been told I have a doppelganger somewhere. Actually, the stylist for my wedding, my cousin introduced us years ago. She was like, oh my God, there's somebody that sings in my choir that looks just like you. And people say that all the time. And I'll be like, yeah, not really. But I was like, oh, yes, I can see it. So we call each other twin now.
Oh, listen, my father mistook me for somebody else one time. My doppelganger. Oh. Right. Remember the singer Jason, J''SON? No. Okay. Well, right. So there was J''SON. And there was 2 instances where people was like tripping because I was at SC in a summer program, and I had a little hat on. I didn't know dude like that, but apparently we dressed alike too. So I had on my little outfit with my little hat, and he wore it like the same kind of hat, right? And so there was these girls in there, and they kept calling my name, and they were like Jason, and I turned around, I was like, what? And they're like, girl, and they like laughed, like, girl, he really think he him, he really think he him. And I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. So I turn around and they say it, and they're like, Jason. And I'm like, what's up? And then they're like, and they just giggling. They're like, no, like, what's your name? I was like, Jason. And they were like, your name is real? I was like, yes. Like, that's my name. What? And I'm like, and so another time when I worked in the mall, I worked at Foot Locker, and a couple of people were like, we just seen you down there. Like, how'd you get? I was like, what are you talking about? So my dad walks into my job and he was like, how'd you get here so fast? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I just saw you at the other end of the mall. I was like, I'm at work. I've been here the whole time. How you see me at the other end of the mall? He was like, I literally just saw you at the end of the mall wearing a Raider.
Different clothes though.
Right. I mean, I got the referee jersey on. He saw me in a Raider jersey. I was like, dude, we live together. I was like, I don't own a jersey, like sports jerseys. You've literally never seen me in a football jersey, let alone a Raider jersey at that.
Oh yeah, that would have been it.
And so a couple of minutes later, in walks the singer dude with a Raider jersey on. I was like, bro, for real? You don't know your own son?
Well, I'm about to look this dude up. But until then, let's go ahead and look at the split screen.
Right.
of you and Dad. So it should be up at this point.
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do. You look. I'm just saying, if somebody were to meet you separately,
Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like you can meet my father and not have questions. Like if you didn't know that that's
okay,
my dad, like
hmm,
you'd be like, "Hey, do you know a guy named Barzini?"
right? At
Right,
least.
at minimal, at
Yeah,
minimum.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm
So
with it.
that's all.
Okay.
So I might be safe from somebody sleeping with. Well, I might be safe from my dad sleeping with somebody that I'm dating
Yeah.
because clearly you can't trust these folks out here.
You can't. You can't.
And then there was the one dude that said he had sex with both of her
Both.
parents.
I was like, oh, I don't
I'm
know.
like, what are y'all into? Right? Like, and
It's
granted,
not
okay,
funny, but it is hilarious.
granted, and so one, you have to account for the people that's cap or whatever. It's like, all right,
That's what I
how
was
much
thinking. I was like, maybe they're just trying to see who can be the most outrageous.
but that depends on how close together she was actually posting the answers. Like, was she posting the answers as they come in, or did she get the answers and then just post them all? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they kind of were varying over the 24-hour period. They weren't all, you know,
Okay, so she was doing it as so they may have been like, okay, let me get even more
or
ridiculous.
the most provocative ones, because I can imagine she got more than that being a celebrity.
Hey, but you know, one of the ones that probably pissed me off the most,
Mm-mm.
and pissed me off by like, if this ever happened to me, I'll probably choke her ass. The one when they
Was
said
it
they
the
was
ring?
written, yeah, how'd you know,
Because it's
y'all?
money related. Go ahead.
Y'all. Oh yeah, because you know me and Doe.
It's money related.
Oh, listen, I don't play with it when it comes to money. Y'all, okay, for those who didn't see it, this woman posted that her and her dude are renting a house. What he didn't know is she had bought that house 4 years prior to them renting it. And he's only when he deposits the rent checks, he's pretty much just depositing to her account and paying her. And he has no idea. He think he's just renting it. Like what kind of that goes beyond like,
Yeah.
oh, he need to pay the bills, blah blah blah. Like what? Come on.
That
And I
is
know there's women. I know there's women probably watching this right now. Like, yeah, oh yeah. Like, I'll be honest. There is a stroke of genius to it, as far
that's
as
a finesse. That's a
there's
super finesse, but not the
that's.
person that you not the person that you love and you're in relationship with. Like maybe a roommate. Somebody you don't
I mean, finesse. Listen. Finesse game is level expert. There's no denying that. But to do
oh
that to
my
somebody you,
gosh.
but I mean, maybe that's just somebody you with, not somebody you love. I don't know.
I was just like, why would you
But
I
I
don't
could
know. Why would
not
you
even why. How could you do that?
how
How could
could
you
you do
bring?
that? Yeah.
And
And
then
that go ahead. No, go ahead.
imagine finding out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to assume this is somebody they living together and they finances is separate, right?
Hmm.
Gotta be, because if your finances together, you gonna see that money recycling or whatever.
Right.
But it's like we don't know their financial situation, but let's so clearly he's the one paying the rent.
Clearly.
And she might be like, hey, I'm going on a girls trip or I'm doing this. They might be even having fights over finances, like he ain't never got no dough, she's always good. And like how is she how she always got dough? I make more than her if that's in fact the case or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
out here, you know what I'm saying, grinding, trying to make it happen, and you just chilling.
Chilling.
Like you can literally work part-time because I'm subsidizing your income with, you know what I'm saying, the property. But or maybe she is doing better since she does, she does own a home that she hid.
That she, yeah. I don't know. I can't even get my brain to work like that.
I'm like, how do you pull that one off? You own a
It's
whole
just
house that somebody doesn't know about. You convince
that's
them like,
somebody that's not paying attention. That's definitely somebody either like blind trust. Have you watched clickbait?
You know what? I turned it on, but I didn't get to see it. I was
Okay,
starting the first episode based on I saw you seeing it, then I saw a couple other people. So you were the first
okay,
one that I saw a post about it.
okay. Well, we'll
But
leave that
okay,
alone. But all that to say, blind trust will get you effed up. Like,
well,
just
yeah, but here's where I think it might be capped though, because there's
okay.
too many factors in there. Who was you renting it from then? Like if y'all was renting it, like he got to be super aloof
That's what I'm
to be
saying.
like.
Or like I think she said he just deposits money in the account. Maybe
But no, I'm talking about
he
when they
just
chose to live there. Like, was she already living
he
there?
probably was already there. He
Okay,
probably
so
was
if
already
that's one thing, but if y'all to be somewhere else and then she's like, "Oh, I found this great house. It only costs blah 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 blah,"
because most likely he would have to fill out some sort of renter's form or something,
and
right?
turn it into who? Like, not unless she has a property management company. There's
Yeah.
just too much.
I'm thinking she already lived there.
Yeah, that's the
She
only way
already
that I can
lived
see that even remotely being like,
there.
yeah, because if not, he's slow.
Like you just
And
you just
I would say if you that slow, you deserve it, but nobody deserves
nobody
something like
deserves
that.
that. No,
That's just
that's
crazy.
supremely shitty. And what bothered me the most about all of that as a collective was like how many people are reading this that are now looking at their partners like, nigga, is this you? I mean, or
Right,
could this
right.
be you?
Like, yeah, like, would you
That's
ever do that?
that's
Do you be
crazy.
faking it? You ever smash my parents? Like
Mm-mm.
the whole nine. What was another one? Oh, talk about he a little bit ugly,
Like his mom.
like his mama, and she glad they don't have kids together.
I was
Oh wait,
like, dude.
no, the one talking about she secretly trying to get a divorce before he pops the question.
Wait, was that was a woman? Oh, okay. I did read
Yeah,
that one. I did.
before
Oh,
he put a ring on it. Like,
oh yeah, yep. That is what it's. Oh Lord.
ma'am, for real, ma'am. Yeah. Mm.
I don't know what to say about these people. Done what? Wait, we need you to. I need you to expound, sister. Please. Which which one of the done it? Oh,
Y'all.
don't give your brother a heart attack. Look at him. He don't know what to do. He's like,
Oh, she on her way over here too.
oh, okay. Well, girl, depending on what you say, drop something off, keep driving. Don't you
Right.
that's
Like,
the car.
no, she ain't gonna drop nothing off because there's food in there.
Oh, she coming to pick up. Oh Lord.
Now she gonna come sit and eat.
Oh man. Well, yeah.
Oh,
Let us know
what is done it?
what's done it. What is
Like which done it?
which done it is
Because I
it?
like all the crusade I be doing and my own sister.
Divorced 6 years before he found it. Oh, that's. I think that's a little different, right? You were already divorced before somebody knew you were divorced. That's. I think that's different from what we're
Wait,
talking about.
wait,
Somebody
he
moving
didn't know y'all was divorced, or your ex didn't know you had been married.
Yeah, yeah. Either one is still not what we're talking about. Well, can you divorce somebody and they don't know?
You can start the process.
Okay, I was like, I think they gotta be involved. But this person
Actually,
is like dating someone and is married to someone else and is trying
okay,
to
I'll
get
put it to you this way.
divorced.
I know somebody that's close to me that was married
Okay.
and had begun divorce proceedings, had done some shady forgery type things, had a court date, hid the court date from him. He found out, didn't tell her he found out, and showed up to court thinking that she was about to get divorced uncontested.
Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy.
And I'll put it who it was in the chat.
Because that's the child. Oh Lord, there's always some surprising things going
Yeah,
on.
but that's people. So
That's
I want to know if anybody is anybody else brave enough to share some shady things they've done.
share the
Like,
shade.
Just throughout the rest of the broadcast, if you've done something less than savory,
or you know someone.
oh yeah, you got a friend.
Oh shit. Okay. No,
Uh-oh.
I divorced him and he didn't know for 6 years. I did it uncontested. Okay.
All right. I mean,
cheers to you.
well, I didn't like his ass anyway. So
Well, then there it is. And now, ain't nobody caping for him today.
uh-uh. I'm not caping for what she did.
I just said you weren't caping for him. It's just it is what it is.
It is nah. I mean, fuck that nigga. As far as I'm concerned, the only reason why I ain't beat his ass is because she's protecting him.
Oh well.
So
maybe it was best to do what she did. Just keep it moving.
Yeah. Well.
Yes, shady, find shady. Who has been privy to or has done the shade?
No, this motherfucker was walking around for 6 years thinking he was still married.
That's weird. So he probably was like the person on the thing, like, married. I'm sure he was moving like he wasn't. Who the hell doesn't know that they're not married, but not with the person they with?
I'm typing you something.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm too far up in the business. I'm just like, I'm assuming this Negro was doing his own, providing he was a Negro, doing his own thing. Yeah, he's probably out there getting it. Well, everybody's quiet. I don't know. So I guess we got to think of our own shade. Let me see. Have I been shady?
I can't see who's logged on from this computer though. So.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't tell me who. It just gives numbers. I can't see unless they comment. I couldn't see who it is.
Okay. So. And here y'all go again. Y'all be like, y'all gotta go live. We need to be on.
I know.
Y'all be sitting there.
But that's okay. We can wrap up
y'all not over there with bonnets on because y'all just getting off of work. If y'all Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
And not unless you be getting your bonnet on quick.
Man, I took mine off for this. So
how was your 7 deadly sins?
Look at the girl.
You popping?
I ain't even separated them. I just untwisted and came on in.
Yeah.
Put them back.
I ain't gonna kill them with the waves up under here, but my shit is like dipping.
Ow.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm bald as hell under here.
Well, while we're waiting for some folks to share some shade, we'll just do a little quick dip back over August. I think did we have 5?
Did we? We just be going.
I think we had five episodes in August. If I'm not, no. We had 4. One was an upload, but it's not going to go live till tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we have 4 episodes. We started with episode 33. Which was talking about Dr. Dre and the 300,000 a month or whatnot. But also, sharing things that men feel that women don't know. So that was when we went through the list. And you tried to bite my head off about something that.
Why is my brother calling me? He knows I'm live right now. Hey, I'm doing a show. I'm live right now.
Right now, like I'm not on.
I'm live right now. Yo, I'm live right now. I'm live.
And so are you.
All right, hit me up later.
I'm live, and so whatever you about to say.
Right, I'm live.
We all about to hear it.
You look like he was at his kids' practice or something. I'm like, bro, I'm in the middle of a show.
Yeah, log in.
Right. But I text him. He knows. I shot him a text like, hey, I'm going live.
About to go live? Oh. Maybe he wanted to get on like last week. Because, you had your mom, not your mom. You had your brother and your dad on.
Yeah.
Hung up on.
Right. So what was I about to bite your head off over? Was that the one where you was like,
we were going through the list, and the first one I was talking about, I said, you have said this, but I didn't realize it before we started the show that men have a harder time moving on because of that emotional connection to your whole face. while I'm reading it, your whole face shifts.
Why is she popping in the
Hey, look, if you want us to see you, come
right?
on in the room. But if you don't, stay back.
What is going on with my siblings?
Oh, you want to be a part of what we got going on? Show
And she
on.
can log in.
Come on. But yeah,
Oh,
so that was, and then you realize that I had set it up before I said it. The setup was you have talked about this, and you're actually the reason why I understand this now. And
uh,
but you had missed that part.
I
You just
did because I was shifting like.
well, yeah, and then you got close to the camera, and I was like, I feel threatened. So that was that episode. Get
Oh,
excited. We talked about things that, well, it was my reaction to things that men shared that they wish that women knew.
mm-hmm.
So that was that was at the top of August. Then the next episode was, us talking about Dr. Dre and spousal support, and then general dating advice for women,
Mm-hmm.
because we had been talking about some of your chronicles and and some of the things that were kind of becoming a pattern that we saw, like women kind of just chilling and
Not
wanting you
participating.
to, yeah, not participating, wanting you to come up with everything, pay for everything, keep the conversation going, all the things. And
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, they're just like,
And it's crazy because I was just talking to somebody who had gone on a date and was sharing like her thoughts or something, the things that she wanted to do. And she felt dude was too easily impressed. To which I had to explain, I was like, it's not that. It's just not normal for women to do the things that you're saying that you want to do or are going to do.
mm-hmm,
And I was like, that's just not normal. Like they were going somewhere. She's like, yeah, well, I'll come pick you up and we can go do thus and so. He was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, like that doesn't happen often. Like, yes, there's women that do it, but if it seems like men are easily impressed or impressed by what she feels is basic, is because it's not basic across the board. And you have so many women that are sitting back. And the problem is we culture both men and women to follow this pattern. Like we tell boys and young men, hey, you're supposed to be doing for her, and we tell the girls, hey, he's supposed to be doing for you.
mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm,
know and so you follow suit. And I was just sharing before, like it was another post where I was saying, and I actually created a post because I asked men, do you communicate or do you teach women how to love you, or do
mm-hmm.
you think it's necessary, or do you think women just naturally know how to do it? Right? Loaded question, because my answer is no. They don't naturally know how to do it,
Right.
because one, we're not monolithic. But it also was tied into another post that I was on, where I was explaining that men are not often also taught to love ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're taught to love women and to do for women, not do for ourselves.
Right.
And so in that, there's some men who can't teach a woman how to love them because he doesn't know how. He doesn't know what he wants because we've never spent that time thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't. It's like if you said like, "Shit, I need you to do something for me," but I don't know what it is. I just know it's something, right? So women are sitting here trying to figure it out, and he can't tell her because he doesn't know, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because of how so many are taught, or cultured. And I think that has just to be a conversation. Like there's a lot of women that have to understand the same way that you want to teach him how to love you and the things that you like, blah, blah, blah. You got to have your ears open and the willingness to do the same,
Yeah.
and understand it's not a one-sided affair. And that's just how a lot of men feel a lot of times. Like and they don't know it. They just wake up one day miserable and don't know why. It's because you haven't prioritized yourself in this relationship.
Mm.
Like people need to, I think that it's a misconception that you get in a relationship and you need to be all about the other person,
Right.
you know, and you need to simultaneously also be about you. And I don't mean be selfish, but it's like you got to know what you want. You got to know what you like. You got to know what you need from a person, or be figuring it out. Otherwise, you're not being fair to yourself, and you're not being fair to your partner, because if I don't provide you the tools or the information or the insight of how to make me happy, or how I can be happy in this relationship as it pertains to you, I'm not being fair.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Um, so I just think it's just a real deeper conversation, and a deep dive into self. You know.
That's good. And for those of you who are watching, hopefully you're able to interact with us, because we want to know, like, in a relationship, or if you are dating or even considering, do you know what it is that you want, or what it takes to, please you, or, make you happy in a relationship? So then also on the flip side, are you willing to receive that from
Mm-hmm.
someone? And then not just receive, because it's one thing to kind of hear it, but it's another to put it into practice, especially if it's outside of what you're used to doing,
Right.
right?
Or
Like,
what you're good at.
or what you're good at, right? I have to tap into a different skill set. I may
Mm-hmm.
have to, pick up a hobby, or, like, it could
Right.
be anything. And how important is that to you? Is it only important that your partner knows and meets your needs, or is it equally as important that you do the same? And I mean, I'm sure we can tell by the fact that, over half of marriages end in divorce, and there's so many people kind of struggling in relationships, or struggling to get into relationships, that whole mutual thing is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Is missing. And a lot of it can be, attributed to the lack of trust because
Mm-hmm.
of some of the stuff we read in that damn thread. I'm like,
Right. Like,
I think I
yeah,
said that to you. I was like, that's why people
don't
don't
trust.
want to be, yeah, they don't want to be all in, because it's like, I'm not going to end up looking the fool.
Mm-hmm. What you doing? Where you at? Who you with?
Yeah.
And that's where insecurity is bred, because if somebody, like, when somebody finds out this is being done to them, how do you trust?
Right.
I just can't live my life that way. I'm kind of like, listen, if you're gonna do dirt on me, at least love me enough. Like, you're not loving me fully because you're doing dirt, but
Mm-hmm.
love me at minimum enough to not let me find out. Love me enough to not be sloppy.
Right.
Like,
You
you
know,
know how much.
don't have me out here looking stupid. If you
I
gonna
mean,
do
I'm
something
already looking stupid
on
because
the
somebody
side, tell
somebody
somebody,
knows.
huh?
Like I said, you already looking stupid because somebody knows. Like, nobody is doing dirt, and nobody, like, the person you doing it
Well,
with,
if
knows.
you're doing the dirt with, and I don't know this person,
But
I
you
mean,
probably
yeah, I
investing
might
your
be
friends
looking
in
for
it
you for
too, because
them.
it's like, hey, if such and such asked, I was with you, or blah blah. So you probably
Mm-hmm.
got that homie, or that homegirl, or whatever. That's, what I'm saying, the alibi or whatever you got
Mm-hmm.
going on to,
My
But
thing is, just don't have me. I don't want to have to explain to nobody what's going on. I want to have to make no damn Facebook posts. Like, just if we gonna be, if we over, we over. I don't want to be explaining about no kid. Like, don't put me in that kind of position. If you don't
mhm.
want to be involved anymore, let's just snip, snip, and go on. But
But you're asking a lot of a person that would do that. If somebody would do that, they're not
yeah,
they're not going to do you the courtesy of telling you.
right. Let me make this nice for you.
Right, like that defeats the purpose of calling it cheating. So if somebody had that kind of
Well, I guess
integrity,
we're talking about cheat nicely, cheat with a conscience.
right, ethical cheating, like, be efficient. If you're going to do it, be efficient.
Lord have
And
mercy.
I'm just saying, I was always efficient.
Well,
I never got caught. So
I was about to say I ain't never had nobody pull up on me, so cheers. But that was
right,
a many, many years
ain't
ago,
nobody came to you as a woman.
many, many moons ago. Mm-mm.
Shirley ain't called you.
Nope. No, Barbara, this is Shirley. No, nope, none of that.
Hmm.
None of that.
I mean, I've gotten some phone calls, but they was just never the right ones.
Yeah. Well,
Like the ones I ain't never touched. Yeah,
all right. Like, no, you got that wrong.
you got that. Yeah, you got that all wrong.
Got that
Or
wrong.
or if I was with somebody and they suspected somebody, they's always suspecting the wrong person. Like, not her. Right. Right. Right.
Close but no cigar.
Close but no cigar. Like,
Yeah.
not usually not even close.
Not even close. Close and I mean not close and no cigar.
Right. Don't smoke because
Woo, somebody's talking to us. Shout out to Terry. Thank you. You will always at some point find out the dirt, even if it's years. Leave first and do whatever the hell you're gonna do. Just saying. And that is what I have said, but Barzini's like, it's not always easy to leave. And it's, I mean, I guess not, but it's not about ease and convenience. If you're making this decision, make the
I mean,
decision.
like, okay, I'm just still saying it's flawed logic because
Mhm.
you're expecting integrity from somebody who is cheating. That's why it's cheating. Like the just leave thing is you're asking a lot of a person who is actively, willingly, and purposely doing dirt.
Well, yes. But I think the point is instead of doing this, or if you're at the point where you are willing to do this, let's make another decision. But I get what you're saying. Like if they're
Yeah,
there, then they're likely not thinking about.
right. That's not the mindset.
But
I mean,
I
and
would say
there's
for the people who have a conscience, because everybody that cheats is not doing it like "f you, I'm cheating on you." I mean, some people really do feel like, whether I agree with it or not, they feel like this is I don't have any other choice type situation, or I tried everything, and so, or I really love you, I still want to be with you, but I just want this one thing on the
I
side
mean,
type.
there's a lot of different things. I think it's problematic for relationships to think of cheating as only selfishness, right? Like I'm just being a dick and I'm going to do this because I'm being selfish, or if she's whatever she's being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's only a fraction of the reasons that people cheat. You know what I mean? Um, and cheating is not always a lack of love or it's sometimes it's momentary weakness, sometimes it's I need something, I still love and want you, but I'm unfulfilled. um Neglect, you know it's a lot of things, and we talked about it before, it's just so hard for the person that's being cheated on to accept that they are contributing to it,
Yes.
you know because that's a tough conversation to have. Like, could you really sit back and say, "Damn, I'm the reason I've gotten cheated on,"
Mm-hmm.
you know, in whatever capacity. And if you take sex out of it, like so, and I think a lot of it is because we always just tie it to sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
But would we look at it differently if, damn, my partner doesn't like to go out, like they never want to go do anything, and I want to get out and go have fun, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and enjoy some time with my friend of the opposite sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be a need. Like, damn, I want to go on a trip, but my partner doesn't want to go with me, so I'm going to go with my friend. Damn, I want to go out to eat every now and then. you know Damn, I want to have good conversation, and talk politics or whatever. Damn, I need to express how I feel, but my partner doesn't listen to me. So who can I talk to?
Who can I run
Yeah.
to?
So when you take sex out of the equation and we look at these various needs that we have in relationship that we don't necessarily consider cheating, right? Why does it not look? Why don't we then equate intimacy that we're lacking, and someone goes and gets it somewhere else when you're depriving that person for whatever reason? It could be hormonal, it could be stress, it could be depression, it could be a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things that we don't talk about and address, So it's like if you're depressed and you're not feeling emotionally um adept, to be able to provide intimacy to your partner, but you never talk to them about your depression, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just feeling neglected. And now they're like, damn, I'm feeling neglected. They don't connect me. They don't talk to me. They just want to stay in the other room. They don't touch me. Now it's like they don't love me. And you're like, I don't love me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and you never communicate these things. And sometimes you're depressed and don't know. There's a lot of things that can happen. Like people that suffer from depression, like, transparently, when it's been, I've experienced this, right? And when you realize you're depressed, the first question I asked myself was, damn, how long have I been this way?
Right.
you know and so you can't share with somebody something that you don't know, and then it's like you look back and like, how much of my life has been affected? What are the things that are connected? Like, so you start trying to backtrack, you know
Mm-hmm.
so there's just a lot, and I think we like to simplify it so that it's easy for us to codify.
Mm-hmm.
This person's an asshole because they cheated. But we don't want to talk about the different things that were connected that led up. And maybe it was nobody's fault. I mean, the action, of course, yes, it was the person who did its fault that they made that decision. But there are things that led up that it could be both. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, because if you decide to you snap emotionally and cuss somebody out, right? We still made that decision to do that, but there were still things that led up to it. You pissed me
Mm-hmm.
off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I snapped. So it's easy to say it was just being selfish. It's easy to say, oh, you just out here sticking and moving, or what I'm saying, riding somebody else's hobby horse or whatever, what I'm saying, is going on. That's the easy out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But are you brave enough to be like, and some people do, and I would venture to say women would ask this more than men, like, is it me? Like, what's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
That women start to question themselves. And then a lot of dudes lie because, one, it'll be guilt from what they've done, and two, a lot of men don't want to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of men who will take the coward's approach and be like, nah, it wasn't you. But in his head, it's like, it was all you. You're the very reason why I did it.
Right.
But we won't say that because then it's called gaslighting. And, oh, you did it. So it's like, when do you get to have an honest conversation? Like, can you really have an honest conversation? It's like,
I
hey,
think you can, but I think, and I don't know how couples feel, but I think you can always benefit from counseling or some sort of therapy
mhm,
throughout and even before something goes wrong. Like just having somebody to help you to navigate conversations, I think is so important because
mhm,
otherwise, and I'm just kind of thinking about my own relationship, like we are busy living, right? Like you're working, we're planning a wedding, you taking care of parents, you're trying to take care of yourselves health
mhm,
wise and exercising and what we're going to eat today and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, literally and figuratively, you don't necessarily hold space for, let's work on this or let's
right,
have the conversations that matter. So you have to be very intentional about that. And if you let enough time pass that you're not, that's when things, like you said, you look back like, how long has this even been happening? And you can trace it back to the fact like, yeah, well, we don't really talk about it, or we don't really talk at all,
mhm,
beyond how was your day, or you good. But
right.
having meaningful conversations, even how are you, or how are you today.
I mean
And
it.
I can't remember who it was. I want to say my friend Amber, she was talking about different questions to ask. She was talking about it in relation to her kid, because like
Mhm,
picking up her kid from school, she was just like, oh gosh. And I can identify with this with my niece and nephew, because how's everything, how was school, everything is good.
Right.
It's good. And so she's like, I really wanted to have a conversation with them. And so it was asking, and you think that's an open-ended question, but asking a question that would have them to describe, right? Like, what was the best part of your day started to be the question versus how was your day? And so that way, the little girl started to describe things. And so now they're in dialogue. Well, that might not be a skill set that you have. You might not be, a conversation starter or know how to kind of get somebody to open up. So having someone to assist you with that, or maybe reading a book together that kind of leads you through those kinds of exercises and spending time where you're actually doing that, I think is very important, because we say that like, things are happening and we don't communicate. Well, why aren't we communicating? Well, clearly it's not just that simple to start talking for some people.
Yeah, come say hi.
I'm like, shut up.
Is my work closed?
You want to work here? Oh, you work from home. You could have worked from here.
How you doing?
This is the one who just divorced somebody that just commented. This is my
6 years.
6 years.
How did you divorce somebody he didn't know for 6 years?
Well, I filed uncontested, and I just kept sending my divorce request to the wrong address on purpose.
Oh. And she's happy about this. It's like,
y'all,
free game for anybody that's trying to pick it.
I just feel like everything that I've worked for on the show is being undone with my own sisters.
It's expensive because it's worth it.
The place where I'm supposed to have the most influence.
Hey,
really, Toy? Yeah. This is what my life is like.
Listen,
listen. Look at here. Who's somebody? A woman with the. Yeah, I've heard some plans in my day, but really.
She's like, yeah, really.
And then he called and asked me for the divorce decree 6 years later. That's why I was like, he didn't know. He was like, I was divorced.
He wasn't?
Apparently not. I don't think so.
Wait, so
I think he was still married.
No, he was clearly still married.
He was.
So where was he?
New York. I was in Texas. That's why I was able to send it to his address. You have to send it 3 times. But I knew the last known address. I knew he was.
So you were able to file uncontested because he never responded to the 3 requests.
Exactly. You have to send it 3 times, but I sent it to the wrong address.
You saying this on the internet.
Not one, not twice, 3 times. I did that 3 times on purpose.
Courthouse, and I posted it in the courthouse here locally because I know he doesn't live here.
Okay.
I'm glad
I don't know if we should be saying this.
Real intimate right now.
Yeah.
Our show is real intimate right now.
It's real intimate right now. I
don't even know who you are right now.
And why did I know about this?
You knew I was divorced.
I knew you was divorced. I didn't know you was divorced like that.
And what does it matter?
Why would she give you the play-by-play? You just need to.
Because I didn't like him. She didn't even give you the opportunity to laugh at him.
Now there you go. Look, like 12 years.
Like now's your turn.
What? No, it's not the same now. Now I'm like the fuck, because I'm talking about women who do stuff like that.
Yeah.
She can share the info. Well, she
clearly just gave y'all the blueprint.
You got the game.
You have just raised the divorce rate in.
It's okay. You're not even gonna be in the same.
Somebody right now, like, oh.
Yeah, I get you done talk. I don't know how many women how to get out.
Right. You guys put my nickname should be 3 times because that's how many times you got to send it.
Terry, don't encourage her, please.
Oh gosh.
All right, well, it was nice seeing you guys.
All right, baby.
All right, take care. Wait, what's for dinner? What y'all having?
You say what?
I said, what's for dinner?
Mama made some lasagna and I made some stuffed shells.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going down. Pasta.
Right.
I can't. My wedding dress came yesterday, so I'm gonna go for the fitting.
So you about to be starving for 2 months?
Yeah, legit. I mean, I've been doing my best, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I just started a detox. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much the same size I was when I bought the dress, so it's not like I'm not afraid it's not gonna fit, but I just expect it to have done a little more for as much as I'm doing. So also,
Right.
I was telling my grandmother, I was like, damn, like getting older is no joke. Like literally last year, weight was kind of falling off, and now I'm doing more than I was doing then, and it's
Mhm.
like,
I'm apparently losing weight inadvertently.
oh well, see.
And I didn't
That was
notice
me.
because I put the
I was
shirt
like,
on.
maybe it was the deployment. Maybe because I was out, maybe,
Yeah. I don't
maybe.
know because when I got here, the first thing my mom and my sister said was, I'm small now, like I lost a lot of weight." And then I put this shirt on. This shirt normally is like fitting. You know what I'm saying? Like
And it might
around
be
the arms.
inches because that's how I feel. Like I was like, oh, I feel like around here I'm
Mhm.
looking smaller, but definitely like the middle, we got to get it together, child. Don't
Yeah.
let it be
So
stressed. Yeah, it probably is.
I'm about
Uh,
to start with the car. Yeah. I don't. It might be stress. It ain't been working out.
and the scale be a filthy liar anyway. I
I
told him
haven't
just
even stepped
measure
on
and
the
take.
scale, so I don't even know. But clearly, like it's been the first thing that people have said when they've seen me.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
Well, then if it's
visible.
noticeable, then maybe it is a
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, I don't look sickly, but I
No,
know I
well,
ain't
I
trying
know
to.
that. I see you at least this part of you every week. I don't. I think
Mhm.
I would be able to tell if it was sickly, but
Yeah. Well, carbs it is.
hey, make it work for you. That's what hashtag boo. He is carbon and pedaling and getting his 10K steps in, and he's
Mhm.
dropping weight like nobody's business. I'm like, you eating the same shit, and I'm trying to avoid, and you going down, and I'm just
Because it's not always what you eat, as long as you're in a caloric deficit.
yeah. Well,
You
that's
know.
clearly I cut my dang calories so that
Mhm.
I'd be in the deficit and working out, but I'm like maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I gotta do more.
Yeah. I don't
I don't
know.
know. Yeah, right, exactly. But y'all's bodies are different than ours anyway, so it
Right.
is that kind of is what it is as well.
Yeah.
Now we know it ain't working out. Shade.
You know
Oh
what?
dang.
You know what? See, and that's the thing. As soon as I touch down, I'm in the gym because you know how I feel about being challenged, right?
Yeah.
Which is
So
why we're a
I'm
year into this.
challenged.
uh,
Right. We're a year into this.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now you're telling me what I ain't gonna do. All right.
Mm. Well, he just said he knows what it has to
Nah,
do.
I know what he's saying.
Oh,
I know what he's saying.
I'm trying to
He
help.
talking shit, and now I'm about to get like
Okay.
right. Yeah. Let me
Well,
activate
I'll
this.
see you in a couple of months. I'll be the judge of that. I guess I'll see like what's been
Yeah.
happening.
So
Well,
I
we'll see how it
don't
goes.
be.
Also, so okay, well, this is the other thing. So when I went home last week, we went to go pick out our wedding bands, and the jeweler took my engagement ring because it's too big. So I'm like, listen, wait. So he was like, no, we have to resize this.
Mm,
So I'm like, well, shout out to small hands and fingers.
right. I don't know what size I wear.
So I'm without. I'm out here.
Yeah. I don't have the smallest hands, but I guess I ain't never. I don't even know if I want a, a band. I'm gonna get something
What you
like
mean?
a tattoo or
If
something.
you want, here you
Really?
go.
Really?
Okay.
What if I
Yeah.
marry somebody that doesn't care about these things?
Oh well, then that's different.
Like, see, your face is
It's
like,
doubtful, but that is different. If you
what
marry
you
somebody that doesn't care
mean?
about these things.
I'm just saying, like, somebody had to invent the concept of wedding bands and wedding rings. Matter of fact, it was that. Have you seen that video? That wedding rings or diamonds? No, wedding rings in general was. It wasn't traditional. It was created by De Beers. To,
Hmm. But it's created now. Thank you.
Hey, but I want to know, like, would y'all, who out there would get married without a ring? Like, how important is the ring really? Because folks is out there, you know what I'm saying, stepping out wearing rings.
That's true. I mean, I would. I'm glad I did not have to, but
Mhm.
I would.
Hmm. I
But
would. I
yeah.
would definitely get engaged without buying an engagement ring.
Yeah, I think it's easier for y'all. I think
I'm talking about for her.
right, but it's easier for you to say I'm gonna get, because generally you don't wear engagement rings. It's the woman that has to explain that she's engaged without no, like, well, what happened? Well, he asked me to marry him. Oh, where's your ring?
So and that just begs the question: who are we wearing the ring for?
Isn't it a sign that you are off the market? It's not necessarily that you're wearing it for somebody else. I mean, for the people that are asking, but they are going to ask.
And then you say you married.
We're talking about engagement, or are we talking about marriage?
You married, you engaged, either or. I mean, what's the difference between you being in a relationship before you're ever engaged? You're in a relationship, and someone's trying to holler. You go, "Oh, I got a girl. I got a boyfriend. I'm in a relationship."
Right.
You're not. There's nothing that you wear.
Promise ring. People don't usually give rings.
No, but you don't ever wear anything to prove you're in a relationship, right? It's people believe you or don't. So
I mean, yes.
So why do you?
That is a sign of. that is a sign or a signal that people look for.
No, I know they look for it, but they don't always care about it.
Well, if somebody's asking about it, they clearly care.
Come on now. Like, how many dudes have you met? Like, okay, when you was just dating or whatever, you got to do, yeah. Can you have friends?
But engaged though? I mean, I have not had anybody try to push up wearing a ring.
I need people in the comment section. How many times have you got hollered at, or did you holler at somebody while you was engaged? Well, no.
Oh, Lord.
How many times have you gotten hollered at while you was wearing an engagement ring or a wedding ring? I mean, because it ain't cheating unless, you know what I'm saying, like,
unless you say yeah.
And I wonder, when you cheating, do you take it off?
Oh, Lord.
Are you sitting there touching people's privates with your wedding ring on?
That'll be on Jazmine Sullivan's Insta stories.
Hey, I ain't gonna say too much, but I'm.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
It does happen.
I believe you. There's some trifling folks out there.
Or some unfulfilled folks, or some hurt folks, or, you know.
Okay, unfulfilled hurt folks that choose to do trifling things.
Is it trifling to get what you need?
From someone that's not the person that you're supposed to get it from? Yes. I'm not married or engaged, but married men stay in my inbox. It's my thing, but they don't respect their rings. Yeah, I definitely have been a witness to married men doing their thing. I hear what the married women do their thing. It's really.
I've sent you screenshots of the married women doing their thing.
I might not have known they were married, but I don't I am not saying that it's not. Oh, not my thing. Okay. I hear you, but I just don't agree. I'm like, God forbid, I'm ever in a situation where I gotta figure that out. But
I mean, you won't.
I'm just like, yeah, being unfulfilled. Again, you need to have that conversation or get with somebody that can help you have the conversation. At the end of the day, my thing is, if you're dealing with somebody who is unwilling to listen and or work with you or change or move forward, like, what else? You're not really expected to do anything else. You can't do it on your own. Mm-hmm. So in that case, then you need to decide if you're going to live without it, or are you going to go on about your business so that you can get it. I just don't see that there's space for, I'm going to stay here where I know I'm not going to get it, but I'll go get it somewhere. That just seems like extra.
I've been there. I've been in a
whole. It's probably because whatever is lacking is like that whole 85-15 situation, and nobody really wants to leave the safety security of what they know for this little thing, even though the little thing is what's making you go out. It's big enough for you to go out looking for it.
I mean,
or no?
It's tough all the way around because everybody is going to lack something, right?
Right.
It's just going to be a different something. And people talk about the 80-20 rule. I call bullshit on the 80-20. I just think the 80 is different. You know what I mean? And you get sucked in by the 20 that you're currently not getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like if the assumption is everybody is always only going to equate to 80, it's about what is encompassed in that 80, right? So if we're saying, if I'm saying like from a man's point of view, let's say you got the woman that, you know, she's a homemaker, she cooks, she's supportive, but she's not sexual. Like you're not having, like a dude said on Jazmine's stories, the segs, SEGGS. And so you're not getting the physical or even emotional intimacy, right? So that might be the 20 that you're missing, right? So now you go out and get this other woman, or you step out or whatever it is, and you're getting the intimacy, but there's 20% of this thing that you were getting with the first woman that you're now not getting. Let's say she's not the homemaker. You know what I mean? It's we always ordering out or blah, 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 right? Or whatever. So I just feel like there's always going to be gaps somewhere. And not necessarily that they're not willing to, but maybe they're not as good as or whatever. And I think the question is, you have to know you enough to know what you can live with and without. And I don't necessarily mean settling, you know, or compromising, but like, what are the things that are absolutely necessary for you? And those are the things that you seek. You know, if you somebody like, I don't really care if she cooks or not. All right, bet. Cool. Look for the other things. Or if you're like, I need somebody that loves to cook. Like, I prefer a woman that loves to cook. I just love that. Right. Do I need her to like make as much money as me or something like that? You know, just different things matter to different people. And so it's knowing what you can and can't endure. And don't lie to yourself. Because I think that's the major thing I think people don't pay attention to. We always talk about lying to your partner, but I don't think everyone is lying to their partner. I think there's a lot of people who lie to themselves. That
cook like your mama.
Amen.
So mom was watching the show clearly. She had got in here. She busted.
Hey, she was like, be specific. Don't just cook.
Mama, you can come say hi, mama. Look at her. She excited.
She's like, let me get closer. I'm glad you're okay. Looking good. Oh, there's mama's baby.
You in there watching the show, mama?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah. So it's you have to know you enough to be able to tell somebody the truth. You can't tell somebody the truth you don't know, like we were saying earlier. So I think it's just necessary to do some deep dives. And are you brave enough to say no, right? Like, there are people who will live a life and deprive themselves of what they need as to not hurt someone else's feelings. Like, you might think, oh, I'm too far in this. I'm too deep in. You know what I mean? To say like, do you really have the courage to say, like, nah, I actually really don't want to do this.
Right.
You know, and it's better to say it late than to never say it at all, than to, you know, spend more years or however long it was not being fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know, because
you're good. That's a good point. To be honest with yourself about it so that you can communicate it. Because I mean, if we're thinking about people if we're thinking about the best of people and not the worst of people,
Mm-hmm.
I guess the assumption could be that your best guess, if you're not really sure, is that you can manage it, right? Like, oh, I mean, I would like this, but
But I don't really
break
need
the
it.
situation, right? I'll be okay. And then one day you're faced with like, oh, here it is, and then
Mm-hmm.
you fall off the deep end. So my brain can comprehend that. I don't, I still don't think it's right, but I do understand how you
Yeah,
can
it's
estimate.
right. It's not right. It's not
Mhm.
right, but it's just one of those variables and those factors that we don't really think about. And that's how people end up being like nostalgic, right? So let's just say, okay, let's say it's head, right? Like you
Mhm.
got people be like, I mean, yeah, I love gray hair, but I don't need it until you not getting it. And then you run into that person that was giving gray hair and you like, I remember how we used to, you know what I'm saying? And now you start thinking about like, damn, I actually do need that. And then you start negotiating with yourself, with that, you know what I'm saying? And that person, like when I was doing dirt, I mean, if you even call it doing dirt, like if I was dealing with somebody who was in a relationship, my
Mhm.
logic was always, I don't wake up with that person. Like,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't know, dude, to have to respect him. That's your job. It's not my job to respect your relationship.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you think karma and all this other stuff. Okay, cool. And I've had some of that karma. Like I said, I've been the cheater, cheated on, and cheated with, right? If we being honest, and a lot of people have, whether
Yeah.
they know it or not. But if my thing is, if you're going to stake your relationship, why should I care about your relationship more than you do?
No, I agree. I definitely
You know, so
that
like,
mindset. Like, this ain't
yeah,
my problem.
like, but I mean, I'm not coming through your crib. I mean, I might have like once. There was one that, but like, nah, I'm not going to your crib. Don't have nobody following you to mine. you know,
Mercy.
because that's just not gonna turn out well for dude at all. Like, showing up to my crib is just never a good idea.
Don't show up to nobody's crib, people,
Right.
because you don't know
You know,
what's on the inside.
you don't know what's on the inside, but you know, saner minds and mature minds prevail as you get older. You know, I don't want that coming back on me, but it's about like knowing what you want. Like, so for me, like at this stage in life, sure, I want companionship, right? And I'm very careful when I say, when people are like, oh, you want to be in I say I want companionship because it's different. You can be in a relationship and still not have companionship. Also, you can have a companion and not necessarily be in a relationship. Yes, ultimately, I want the relationship and the wife and all that other stuff. Great. But I can't even be physically involved with somebody that I can't have a connection with outside of sex.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't, it's a waste of time for me to have sex with somebody and it's only sex. I got other things going on because there's other things that I want. Like, can we go to a movie? I mean,
Right.
when the Rona clear up or whatever is gonna happen,
I know. I miss
or
the
yeah, I mean, because you know me, I love going to the movie theater. But or hey, can you come through and we just watch a movie? Can we have a conversation? Can we talk about each other's day? Like, can I bounce ideas off of you? You know, just like a companion, because there's just elements that we may realize, hey, we may not be meant to be in a relationship, but we're actually good companions until we
Mhm.
find relationships,
Right.
you
Oh
know.
yeah.
So there's a lot of things I just can't do. Come through, smash, what you about to get into?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't even want anybody in my bed like that. You know, I mean, because it's I can be doing something else with that time. Like it's an empty experience to me. You know what I mean? It's like I came and I can do that by myself. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it a buck. You know, it's too much work. It's too much that goes into something that's empty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now my 20s.
My Lord.
I ain't got that much going on. Like, you know, hey, come through.
Yeah. Wasted a
Bring
lot
a
of time.
friend, whatever. Like,
No, bring your mama's.
oh yeah. I mean, my mom. One I did low key forget that quick.
Yeah, I was just like,
But my mama know my mama know I'm my daddy's son, so
okay, well, you know. Well, at least as you've gotten older, as all of us, well, both of us, I'll just say, I can't speak for. I don't even know who else is watching, so I won't say all, but both of us have matured and are living different lives as a result of experience. Shout out to that. So
right, but them experiences was fun.
Yeah, no, 20s were
reckless
great for the most part. Yeah, like really, I was thinking myself, I was just like, it's a lot of stuff that I just know I would not do.
Because we got that kind of time.
That too. I mean, just like chilling, just hanging out, like you're just kind of living. I was like, how did I live? Did I have a job? I don't remember anything.
Right, like just remember going out, like
traveling, road tripping.
I don't even know how we have money to road trip. Like
my mom said that to me. I remember her be like, she was so concerned. Like, you are the most, and she said, you're the most goingest person I've ever met to not have a job. And I'm like, I don't need no job. It's right. Wherever I go.
That was crazy. We literally was always on the road going somewhere, and then
all we needed was gas money and money to eat.
Right, and you didn't even need that much money to eat because you was eating fast food or something like Chili's or something.
Right, like what I need money for?
Right, and so everybody was always piecing in on the whip, on the rental, or some. Look, hey, now we be like, we got bills and shit.
Right.
And when we did have a job, remember just going out and being out all night and still get up and go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay about. Yeah, we did that because you could. Yeah. You could. Now it's like, child.
Shit. Listen, if I'm not out before 8:00,
right? Yeah, you ain't never lied.
Going out,
yes.
Yeah, going out in your work clothes. Like I'm not changing. You be happy.
I'll be ready to roll.
Right, midweek happens in your work clothes. You're like, look, I still just tired, just hanging from around your neck, just looking tired. I'm getting ate up out here.
I used to hang out with the homies, just like, hey, and nothing even is really happening. Just come through,
and we just doing I see pictures posted.
It's not a birthday. It's not it's not nothing. It's just Wednesday.
I don't know how many pictures I've seen when we were young. And I don't remember that day. I don't want to know where we are. We just in a group.
Tacos and Hawaiian Punch.
I think I know who that is.
Shout out. Tacos. I haven't had Hawaiian Punch in
I don't know. That might. I don't know if they don't know. They must be posting from the group. But that was hanging out at Erica's house when we was young. When she had a spot. Her favorite drink was Hawaiian Punch. We was always making tacos. We made tacos so much, and we didn't even have all the supplies. We would make tacos with American cheese if we had to.
Just get it done.
Listen, it's just too many memories.
Take me back just for a little bit.
Yeah, it's all good. Good times, though.
Oh, yeah, she said it's her. It's me.
Oh, yeah, see? Tacos and Hawaiian Punch. That's E. Diddy runs the city.
I love it.
So.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. Have you had dinner yet? I don't want to keep you from your vittles.
Oh no. I'm gonna have some bonding time with mom and sis because I fly out in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, of course, for giving us a part of your family time just to honor your commitment. It's clearly
perfect attendance. We need to create some
yes.
certificates when we get perfect attendance.
Right. So for all of you who are watching, just one more time, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go there now. If you're watching us on Facebook, the link is pinned at the top. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're already where you need to be. Hit the subscribe button and then make sure to check out some of the past episodes. A new episode just dropped today. What was we talking about today, child? I don't even know.
Talking shit.
I know we always talk. I'm like, I got to go look. because it's all blending in together. Oh, we talked about weaponizing femininity. Is it
Oof.
ever okay for a man to put his hands on a woman? And that's, of course, we're talking about in defense.
Mhm.
But what does that look like? And so for those of you who are in the group, you might have responded in the thread. So we actually talked about it on today's episode. So it's already up on YouTube and all of your favorite podcasting platforms. So make sure that you go there. You can either listen to us by audio, working out in the gym, driving to work, whatever, or you
And
can watch YouTube.
it's a great listen, y'all. It's a great listen. I listen to the old episodes when I forgot everything that we've said, and I'll be laughing.
We crack me up. I will
Right.
tell you that.
Yeah.
I'll go back and be like, we are silly.
It's so funny. Like, I don't listen to the recent episodes as much because they're too fresh.
Well, I
But
listen because I gotta know where everything is so I can bookmark it. But yeah,
but
going
I like going to the older ones when I've completely forgotten the conversation. And sometimes I disagree with myself. Have you ever listened and disagree with yourself?
no, but I have said what I ultimately have said. Like I'll say it and then I'll hear myself say it and I'll be like, yeah, girl, that's how we feel. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I'm like, disagree.
I
Disagree.
think in the beginning you was just, you was trying to always be anti. Like, let's see.
That's not true. Those are some of my genuine feelings. And
Okay,
then
so you just have shifted in
I don't know how much. I'd have to go back and listen. Because I might shift back. It depends. It depends with the wind. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you pretty steady. I think we can.
Yeah, I'm a consistent motherfucker.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, y'all, this has been another Crossroads Live. And yeah.
Yeah. So we are, our goal over the next few weeks is to, go live and do kind of some pop-ins outside of our first Thursday. So, keep an eye out for us. If you are subscribed, then
You'll
you
know.
will get the notification that'll let you know when we're going live and when new episodes are dropping. So that's another, kind of benefit to subscribe.
Exactly. So until then, y'all, this is your man, 100 Gram Barzini, here with Dre Renee on Crossroads Live. And always, always remember,
be free to be you.
Till next time, y'all. We love you.
Bye, everybody.